Guys, so today doing a little bit of work on my wife's car. As 2014 2015 BMW 328i xdrive is the all-wheel drive. If you don't know what the xdrive is, I'm actually about to do the tune-up, but since this would be like the first time in a very long time I did a tune-up on one of these BMW motors, I actually got to run to the auto parts store to try to grab this socket for him. It's looking like it's a 12 socket. Well, a 12.12 millimeter socket or a 12.14 millimeter socket. So this is the actual spark plug. Alright. I put the link in the description for the actual NGKs as far as part number wise go. It's real inexpensive, especially because it's a 4-cylinder versus the normal inline 6. So it's a 4-cylinder turbo. So we can go ahead and knock that out. It's a real in and out, real simple job on these things. A lot of BMWs, as far as the inline engines on the BMWs, are real simple to do a tune-up on. When you get to like the V8s and that type stuff, is a little bit hard, just because you got to get to those last 1 or 2 spark plugs on each side of the engine, because it's a V series type motor. But this one right here is super simple, and I'll show you when we get back here. I'm gonna run up to the auto parts store to get the socket real quick. Alright, so just the actual coverings. So this goes on top like this, and this sits underneath it. I guess that's so the heat won't really damage the plastic, because it's like hard plastic, which is kind of a good idea. Like I said, it's already apart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth one, we had to take this. All right, so you had to take this off to get to the rear ones. So yeah, little tabs, 2 tabs. Tab there, it's gonna be extra. This actually should just pop. It's like a couple bolts here, look like to be either 10 mils or 12 millimeters. And center wire here, so you probably want to undo this before you go pulling this off, because if you break this, that look like it goes something real important. So take that, move that out the way, pull this back, sit that off to the side like that. So I may be able to get down to that one without taking this off. If not, then I had to move this bar out the way and take all this off. I don't want to take all that off, so I'll start by just grabbing this one, and it like unlocks itself. Just pull this out. There you go. You want to be real gentle with these, because these have been in here for a long time. Pretty sure nobody ever changed these out. So you just twist and pull, and boom, you got your spark plug all the way down there. Then you check your boot, make sure you don't see any burn marks on here, so that way you don't have to worry about this core pack, and you just do them just like a regular tune-up, one at a time. These are the special sockets. I got it from AutoZone, so it's a 14 millimeter. This is actually a thin one, so this would be perfect. I don't think my extension is gonna allow me to reach all the way in there, but we'll see. Yeah, nah, that's probably a little too far for what I got right now, so let me see. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with that, so grab a longer extension. Alright, so I got this one undone. This is number 1. So when you want to check, you want to make sure so you want to make sure this is actually dry. That's a good burn on there. These been in there for a while, but you want to make sure there's no oil down here on your threads. Like if it's oil up here on the spark plug, that just lets you know it's rubber boots that sit around here inside the valve cover that keep the oil from going down. So if you see, we're gonna be needing to do a valve cover job on here in a minute. It's a little wet. It's not too bad. That's actually not bad at all. But as long as you don't see any oil down here, as far as it being wet, that means you know your internals is good. You don't have any valve stem leaks or any blow by, but usually blow by burn off and you wouldn't see it for real right now when you take the plug out. So what I usually do is make sure the boot's clean, and I'll sit the boot down in here or the core pack while I prepare the new spark plug to go in. So before you drop the new ones in, you want to get your spark plug filler gauge some sort. Check all the spark plugs as you put them in the car. This right here reads at about 27, which I'm pretty sure that's like stock for these motors. So make sure you check every single one. Don't go ahead and put your faith in everyone being properly gapped. That to me, that's just a no-no when you're doing a tune-up. So check every one, make sure all the tolerance as far as the spacing is correct with filler gauge. This is like 89 cents or something at my local parts store. So I got a ton of those just laying around literally everywhere. When you're putting it in, just make sure it doesn't bind up. You can either use a wrench, a ratcheting wrench, or I just use, you know, good old hand tools. Because if you strip this, you do damage to your head. Can't afford that right now. Not with the SC being broke. Don't throw your old spark plugs away yet. I usually keep those laying around and literally until the next tune-up. Because if one spark plug fail, I could drop an old one in there. Even though it's used, it'll work. I mean, the car didn't have any problem before the tune-up, so shouldn't have a problem afterwards. But I usually keep a spare. I keep all the spark plugs just, you know, sitting in the box, sitting off to the side, just in case anything happens. So, all right, pull the clip back, slid it in. This clip on these are a little bit weird, so you gotta like be real gentle with it, because these will break, and these are the locks to actually hold everything in place. So that's in, that's done. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna knock the next 2 out, and when we get to that 4th one, that back one, I'll pull the camera back out and show you guys how I got to it if anybody needs any help. All right, so I'm getting at the number 4 spark plug down. I took all that plastic covering off. I had to loosen up the strut tower brace, so I undid that bolt, did that bolt. As you see, it's welded to the other side. There's no need to take the whole thing completely off. Just loosen it so you can lift it up and get it underneath that lip. Hey, how you doing? And now you see I got big hands, so I had to do all this. I had to take all that off to get to this one last core pack and spark plug. So see, just twist it, bang. So to be honest, I recommend you just do it that way, so save you less problems, because all the plastic underneath this hood is just hard and brittle. I mean, it's plastic on an engine bay. That's how it goes. And that's the rest of the stuff right there. So it's real simple, just extra stuff as usual. So I see it's like a little wet here. I don't know if this is oil, if it's oil or not, but it smells like a little bit of oil. So we'll be doing a valve cover job on this thing here shortly. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a headache. Yeah, most likely is the valve cover leak. It is what it is. That's just how it goes. Yep, it'll be a job. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this last spark plug in, and we should be able to start up and make sure everything's good. All right, so the tune-up's pretty much complete. Now we can start it up. My advice is when you take this tab, well, this cover and that cover off, you have to take a 10mm and twist these counterclockwise to, it's like a little latch that, like, when you turn it, it locks into place and it unlocks. So make sure you turn these counterclockwise. These ones just pop straight off, so obviously somebody was in here touching something a while ago and just never locked it down. So you don't break your tabs, turn it counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, and 3 on that side. So I'll put this on here to cover that up. Go grab the keys and we can start this baby up. Make sure everything's good, and it should be good to go. Should be good to go. All right, so seat back. And we should be good to go, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and just press the button first without the pedal. Make sure everything's good, nothing pops up on the screen. That. And we should be good to go. Right. Should be good to go now, so. It's the only thing, it's a little windy. That's the only thing I don't like about these cars. So this actually has, so you know, I do not get to drive this thing that often. So this actually has 95,000 miles on it. I think we got it at like 60 or something like that. And when we first got it, the next day after she brought it home, when she started it, you can hear the turbos rattling. And when we took it to multiple dealerships, they said that's just how these are. That's just how it come. But when it heats up, the turbos, you don't hear the rattle at all. But it's one of them, it's like, it was me whole time. So it's not like a bad rattle at all. Like when my wife started, I said, oh no, something's rattling. We got to get that checked out because we just bought the car. But that's just how these cars are. So it was me just pretty much just overthinking it. And plus, like, we like, this car wasn't cheap. So it was one of them, like, I'm like, let's get everything fixed by them now, while you know, under the dealership 30-day warranty thing, and you know, everything's pretty much covered. Paint, everything's covered. So that was the only dilemma we had when we first got this car. Well, when she got this car, because this is her car, I don't get to drive it as much. I could drive when I want, but I don't want to drive it and break it. But yeah, so it's good to go now. I'm gonna go ahead, put the covers and everything back on, and she should be good to go, and give it a nice car wash. It is a beautiful day today. I'm gonna wash all the cars. I'm gonna be out here for like another hour or 3. So yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, hopefully this video helps somebody. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a real easy job. It's like 10 being the hardest, this is like a 2. Like, and the only reason why I give it a 2 is just because you gotta take those plastic covers off just to get to the number 4 coil pack. And I would recommend you do that for the number 3 coil pack, because when I did 3 coil pack, if I had that cover off, I could have, you know, went around that strut tower bar and got to the number 3 coil pack with no problem. But I did it with the covers and stuff on for 3, but it's up to you how you want to do it. You see the cover can come off really, really easy. It's real simple. It's really, really simple. But make sure you get that spark plug pulling tool, because that is actually a thin wall socket, and you really need that to get all the way down into the top of that cylinder head, down to the spark plug. But it was pretty easy, guys. Pretty easy. Real easy day. So that's cool. Well, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out here, wash these cars up, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.